The last city the world had changed. What was once a bustling civilization had now become a desolate wasteland, ravaged by the aftermath of a cataclysmic event. The cities lay in ruins, reduced to mere skeletons of their former glory. Nature had begun to reclaim its territory, as plants and vines wrapped around crumbling buildings, and animals roamed freely amidst the rubble. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional howl of the wind. In the midst of this desolation stood the last city, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by chaos. It was a fortified sanctuary, protected by towering walls that kept the horrors of the wasteland at bay. Inside, the survivors had built a community, united by their determination to rebuild and thrive. At the heart of the last city, a council of elders made decisions for the community. Their wisdom and experience guided the inhabitants through the darkest of times. One of the council members was Marcus, a grizzled veteran who had witnessed the downfall of society firsthand. He had seen the cities crumble, watched as people turned against each other in a fight for survival. Marcus carried the burden of those memories, a constant reminder of the fragility of civilization. He knew that the last city was not invulnerable, and that the wasteland outside its walls was a constant threat. Resources were scarce, and scavenging parties had to venture out into the dangerous unknown in search of supplies. One day, news reached the last city of a nearby settlement that had fallen victim to marauders. The council convened an emergency meeting to discuss the situation. Marcus, his weathered face etched with determination, proposed a daring plan. He suggested assembling a team of skilled fighters and scouts to investigate the fate of the settlement and potentially bring survivors back to the last city. The council agreed, and Marcus was tasked with leading the expedition. He handpicked a group of individuals who possessed the necessary skills and resilience to face the dangers of the wasteland. Among them were Ava, a fearless and agile warrior, and Eli, a resourceful scavenger with an uncanny ability to find hidden treasures. Armed with weapons, supplies, and hope, the team ventured out into the wasteland. The journey was treacherous, as they navigated through crumbling ruins, evaded mutated creatures, and encountered the remnants of desperate factions fighting over scraps. They pushed forward, driven by a shared sense of purpose. Days turned into weeks as the team moved deeper into the wasteland. The landscape grew more desolate, and the challenges they faced intensified. Yet, their resolve remained unyielding. Finally, they reached the remains of the fallen settlement. The scene was one of devastation. Buildings were reduced to rubble, and the streets were stained with the remnants of a fierce battle. The survivors were nowhere to be found, but signs of a struggle were evident. It seemed that the settlement had put up a fight against the marauders, but ultimately succumbed to their brutality. Disheartened but undeterred, Marcus and his team began scouring the area for any signs of life. In the wreckage, they discovered a hidden underground shelter. Inside, they found a group of survivors who had managed to evade capture. They were malnourished and traumatized, but grateful for their rescue. With the survivors in tow, Marcus and his team made their way back to the last city. The journey was arduous, but they persevered. When they arrived, the inhabitants greeted them with a mix of relief and renewed hope. The rescued survivors were integrated into the community, and the last city grew stronger as a result. Marcus, satisfied with the outcome, returned to the council and reported their findings. The council recognized the importance of unity and community in the face of adversity. They understood that the survival of the last city depended on their collective efforts. Inspired by Marcus's leadership and the team's resilience, the inhabitants of the last city rallied together. They worked tirelessly to fortify their defenses, cultivate the land, and establish trade routes with other settlements. Slowly but surely, they began to rebuild what was lost. The last city became a symbol of resilience and hope, a testament to humanity's ability to rise from the ashes. The wasteland still loomed beyond the walls, but within them, a flame burned bright. A flame that represented the indomitable spirit of the survivors, a flame that refused to be extinguished, even in the darkest of times. And so, the last city stood tall, a beacon of light in a world consumed by darkness, a testament to the power of community and the strength of the human spirit.